Wow. So this is a crazy article that I came across and just wanted to chat with you about it real quick because I thought it was interesting. So here's an article that says, here's how much bots drive conversation during news events, okay? So I was reading through this article and it's talking about how different robots or bots on the internet, whether on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, different social media forums, whatever, there are a handful of bots or robots or profiles that drive the conversation, that drive the engagement in the kind of news media sphere, if you will. This article is specifically talking about the Central American migrants that are on their way from Guatemala and Central America through Mexico coming to the United States border, right? And this article talks about how the term or talk of this caravan kind of took over Twitter and kind of led a life of its own on Twitter through social media, right? And look at this. Late last week, about 60% of the conversation was driven by likely bots. Over the weekend, even as the conversation about the caravan was overshadowed by recent tragedies, bots were still driving nearly 40% of the caravan conversation on Twitter. Now that is crazy, guys. So it makes you kind of question everything about, what's actually happening on social media. If the people that you're engaging with, if the profiles you're engaging with are actually real people, or if they're just robots kind of driving the conversation based on the positive and negative sentiment that they want to invoke on their audience. Okay, so that's pretty crazy to think about. Okay, so if you kind of think about that and expand that out into the cryptocurrency realm, right? Let me just show you an example of this. Okay, so here's one of my videos. It says, opportunity alert. My indicators told me that these two altcoins are positioned to go to the moon. And I gave a review here on a number of coins, on a number of different altcoins, on Snove, CVC, a couple different ones, right? And look at these comments, okay? So I got 16 comments down here below. And when I'm looking at this, okay, John McAfee said the chart for Bitcoin will surely reach 1 million USD before 2030, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on, this person goes on to leave a comment. Then I look and there's 12 replies to this comment. This comment right here is a spam comment. This is just a fake kind of robot. Sandra Moore isn't really anybody, right? So if I go to Sandra Moore's profile, she has 4 subscribers, doesn't have any content, picture of a pretty woman. It's obviously a fake profile or a bot, right? Then if I go to these comments down here, Jonas Clayton, I actually heard a lot about Mr. Adam, has never been there, blah, blah, blah. Who's Jonas Clayton? Again, probably just a bot circling the internet. Look, no subscribers, no content, nothing, right? David Godwin, this is my 3rd week. I'm connecting with Adam, all talking about Adam. These aren't even real people at all. These are robots driving this conversation on my social media channel on YouTube, right? So I have 16 comments on a video that only got 50 views. Well, it probably has more now. This was kind of taped at a...
Hey guys and gals, my name is Jason Bond,
16
founder
comments,
of JasonBondPicks.com,
the majority of which
and I
are
teach people
robots,
how to trade
okay?
stocks.
So
now
take this a step further, go over to Twitter and look at the conversations on Twitter. Now when you start looking at Twitter and you start looking at Twitter feeds, right? So take an example, BCH, right? Bitcoin Cash.
Now I'm telling you,
I will show you
these
Bitcoin Cash right here being talked about. You have comments, right? You have people talking. There's 41 comments on this one right here. BTC supporters are too incompetent to even keep the blocks full like they want. Failed, right? Roger Ver posted that like today, right?
The year before that,
then it got retweeted by Whale Panda, right? And it got commented on 41 times. So if we go into these comments down here, I'm sure many of these are real, right? But many of these may be robots driving the conversation. So the social media engagement that's happening on the internet about really any topic is driven largely by robots, right? And they're invoking positive and negative sentiment on an audience of people, on a very specific audience of people who are passionate enough to care and post or comment on that feed, right? And so this is how the elections were swayed in the United States. There was a lot of talk about how the elections were swayed. It was using methods like these to sway the opinions of people and using robots and armies of robots to actually increase the sentiment one way or another on a particular topic, right? So this is fairly scary. It's crazy, actually, that there's this much power and this much sway. And people, I guarantee you, people do not think about this in context of the media, that the media can actually do this to manipulate news. And now robots are being used to do this as well, to create propaganda, manipulate news, so forth and so on. And in the cryptocurrency sphere, it's really interesting because the more robots you have, the bigger the army you have, the bigger the conversation you have, the bigger network you have, the more influence you have on a particular price on a cryptocurrency. Think about it, guys. John McAfee has a huge following, right? The more he gets people to engage on his posts on Twitter, whether robots or not, the more they engage, the more people talk about a particular coin as an example, the more likely that coin is going to pump, right? What do you think these pumps are from? They are from many things, right? But in the early days, like 2017, there was a ton of these pumps. And I think it was largely because of these like powerful networks of people that were influencing the prices and manipulating the prices of these cryptocurrencies through different tactics like I'm talking about right now. Food for thought, guys. Food for thought, guys. Food for thought. Hope you enjoyed that little rant. And next time you look at Twitter, you'll never think about it the same. See you guys.